Why is there a strange dot on the iPhone camera? How did people in the old days escape the scorching sun? And is it true that the biggest waterfall is as big as 160 kilometers long? Never heard of it? Then you'll love this episode. Let's go. Take a look at your nails. What condition are they in? Are they okay, or do they have white spots on them? I'm sure some of you have them. But do you know why they appear and what they mean? In general, there are several possibilities as to why you're getting these spots. Either you've injured your nail or you're sick with something. It would be better the first because the white milk spots on the nails are a symptom of a variety of diseases, from vitamin deficiency to psoriasis to stress and even severe poisoning. Don't guess what exactly in your case led to the formation of such spots. It's better to immediately contact a specialist. One of the main events of the fall of 2020 was the appearance of the iPhone 12. Many people began to evaluate the quality of the screen and the camera, but not many people paid attention to the black dot on the camera of the iPhone, or rather a little under it. What is it there for? In fact, this is the LiDAR sensor, a technology that's actively used in geodesy and cartography, where the light emitter is a laser. LiDAR in the iPhone performs many practical tasks. It determines the distance to the object, sees the world around us in its own way, helps to take beautiful pictures, leaving hair, ear, and other parts of the person in focus, and much more. The $100 bill is probably the most recognizable bill in the world. You've all seen it, but have you ever seen a bigger denomination dollar bill? Turns out there were in the past. For example, the $500 bill had President William McKinley on it, the $1,000 bill had President Grover Cleveland, and the $10,000 bill had politician Salmon Chase. But there was a larger bill of $100,000. There was the portrait of President Woodrow Wilson on it. $100,000 is a lot, but that's not the limit. The banknote with the largest denomination was issued in 1946 in Hungary. Inflation of the country was so bad that the government put into circulation a banknote of 1 sextillion. That's a 10 with 21 zeros. How'd they even pay with it? Nowadays, you walk into a store, you can see a huge variety of sunglasses, including those from well-known brands. But what about ancient sunglasses? What did they look like? Well, roughly like this. More like a Cyberpunk 2077 item, right? They were and still are worn by the Arctic peoples, the Inuit, and the Yupik. These glasses are called snow goggles because they reduce the risk of snow blindness. You've probably all bought a Chupa Chups lollipop and noticed the hole in the lollipop stick. Why is it there? Many of you will say it's here to make a whistle out of the stick. And indeed, you can play a whistle through such a hole. Someone will say it's here for safety, so that the child doesn't suffocate accidentally swallowing a stick. This is a good version too. But in fact, these holes are needed to keep the lollipop in place. When the stick is dipped into the still liquid lollipop, it fills this particular hole first. As a result, after it hardens, the lollipop has a firm hold on the stick and the candy doesn't fall off.
Oh, do you love me? No.
Love you.
Love you too, beta.
Let's leave the different holes and move to nature. All you know about bamboo. You know that it's a grass that grows in Asia and that it grows very fast. But did you have any idea how fast it grows? Maybe 5 to 10 centimeters a day? Or does the grass gain 20 centimeters in 24 hours? Some varieties of bamboo can grow 1 meter in one day, and that's not the limit. In a Japanese laboratory, there was recorded a peculiar record. In one day, the stem of the bamboo variety called madake grew up to 120 centimeters. And there's a bamboo in Vietnam which can grow by 2 meters for the same time. The inhabitants of Asia say that if you look at the bamboo thickets for a long time, you can easily see how the stem grows. If you go to Venezuela, one of the places to visit is Angel Falls. It's called the highest waterfall in the world. Its height is 979 meters. It's very cool because, for comparison, the infamous Niagara Falls is only 57 meters high. But both of these waterfalls are nothing compared to the Denmark Strait Cataract. No, it's not a disease, but the largest waterfall in the world. Its size is about 160 kilometers. But why can't we see it? The fact is that this waterfall is underwater. Yeah, there are such too. The Denmark Strait Cataract is not just gigantic, but also unrealistically powerful. The water falls 3,505 meters from the Greenland Sea to the Erminger Sea, carrying about 5 million cubic meters of water per second. The record breaker eclipses all the giant waterfalls on land. Do you have apples lying around in your kitchen right now? If so, take one of them. Try to scratch the apple with your fingernail or knife. If you've done it right, something like wax will begin to fall off the apple. What does it represent? That's what it is. It's wax. It's used to coat apples so that they don't lose water, don't dry out, and spoil more slowly. Partially processed natural waxes are used for this purpose, but preservatives are often added to protect the apples from fungi. By the way, it doesn't make apples healthier, but it doesn't blast them much either. The same preservatives we use with other foods. What did you use to cut the wax off an apple? Did you do it with a kitchen knife? Or did you happen to have a utility knife handy? If so, you should know when the next piece of the blade on such a knife blunts, you shouldn't break it off with your fingers. You risk getting a nasty cut. Few people know, but you should break off the blade of a utility knife with a plug, which is located on the end of the knife. It can be removed and put on the unwanted section of the blade to break it off. Everything's very simple. Take a look at this creature. What kind of monster is this? A mutant that broke out of the lab, or a new kind of animal? It's simpler than that. It's a bear. Yeah, that's what a bear looks like without fur. Specifically, it's a spectacled bear native to South America. In this picture, we see a bear from the zoo in Leipzig that suddenly went bald. The zoo staff didn't understand what caused this, but maybe that's not so important. What is important is that these bears are unusual looking and cannot leave anyone indifferent. Until recently, braces were considered something shameful. But now more and more people are getting them, and not just people. Did you know there are braces for dogs? In fact, it's not a new thing. Such braces have been around for decades. Of course, braces are not put on dogs to give them a nice smile. Such braces fix the bite, make it easier to eat, and prevent dental diseases, and rightly so. Who would want their four-legged friend to suffer from a toothache? Bees are real work dorks. They work very hard, so they deserve a rest. They can rest, for example, in McDonald's. No, I'm not talking about a regular McDonald's. I'm talking about a McDonald's that was designed especially for bees. They created one a few years ago in Sweden. The manufacturer calls the branch the smallest in the world, but it's not really a restaurant, but a full-fledged beehive. But it looks cool in any case. The small structure completely replicates the design of the original restaurant. It's created with the corporate colors of McDonald's with the trademark M on the roof. There are advertising posters on the transparent facade, and there's even a drive-thru on the side. There are many different cathedrals in the world, but one of the most unusual and even strange is in Washington. It's strange because on the front you can see Darth Vader. No kidding, that's how it is. But where did the Sith Lord come from? The fact is that the decor of the Washington National Cathedral front was invented with public help through 2 contests for the best grotesque designs. One contest was regular, and the second was for children. In that children's contest, the 3rd place winner was a sketch of Darth Vader's head. Of course, the dean of the cathedral was not a fan of the space saga, but what could you do? They had to accept the rules of the game. So the stone head of the Sith Lord was placed on the front. However, it hangs quite high. That's all, guys. What interesting fact from this episode surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.